I was just demonstrating that. I mean, you hear the charm like a chirp. These two power buttons don't work, so normally when you pop in a disc, you can inject it by pushing this inject button, and the controller is synced. I don't know if it's still synced, but it was when we moved back here recently. It was synced in. We were at the apartment. Now that I'm at a house, I don't know if I had left it off, and it does have a solid. But these two buttons don't want a power button, and the thing never respond. And I always used to inject. I would inject the disc inside the console to get it to work, and that's how it's always been. But now the disc is jammed. That I guess I'll just use my PS4 and probably sell this. It still has the power button on, but this doesn't seem to. The controller's trying to sync up with something that it doesn't respond to the console in terms of it being all in one. I can wait until the controller dies and then leave it off the plug for like maybe a day, and then insert it and see, maybe then it'll turn on. That's why I was bummed out, because I normally have like a time to play video games, and but now this doesn't. There's a disc in there, and then normally if you put a disc in, it'll turn on, and then normally this will inject it, but it's jammed in there, and there's basically no way of knowing how to get it out unless I unscrew it from the factory seal deal. That this was back in 2011. I had got this console, and I kept it in good condition, and it was basically something that I cherished, because normally these consoles brick out, and I guess mine finally, it didn't have the yellow right of death, but it just wouldn't inject the disc out of the able prop of pushing the button either the controller or by the disc tray itself. I don't know if it's jammed in there. I put the disc in, empowering it down to reset it. That's the only way you can reset this console. I know that's ghetto, but I just figured it was working before, and then now it just doesn't turn on. So I figured it's something that I have to go and try to find a website that can fix consoles that I can see that has legitimately good service, in terms of if no one responds to this. I just figured that I have other things I could play and stuff, but figured it's not all bad. But this basically, the light is red, normally indicating that the power source that's on, and it turns blue when it's on, but the disc doesn't reject from the console like it normally would have. It's jammed. But I turned it off, it did that, and that's how my Dell computer did when I had that going. That Evan fixed it a couple of years back, and I went and got stuff off of it via transfer, and once I put it in rest mode, it just basically never went out of rest mode, and it's in rest mode right now, this console, that it doesn't respond out of it, and it normally would have. Otherwise, it was in good working condition. It was always clean, and everything I have is pretty much in good condition. So I just figured that these two buttons never respond, but the middle eject button would eject the disc out. and it acts like it is nothing in there, and there is a disc in there, but I didn't want to put another disc in and then it getting stuck in there. It turn on and wouldn't get turned off like it now does, so I don't know what to do other than just probably just sell it and see if I can get something else, or basically if someone knows someone that can fix these things off really fast in terms of like a day or so, instead of it being like a couple of weeks or however long it takes to fix consoles, because I had this for a very long time and always would vacuum out the vents